Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a smashing Sunday so far. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be leading with a clip of Jeff Bezos talking about Amazon in the early days and its stock price, and how there was a lot of volatility attached with it being an emerging technology, an emerging market. And ultimately, the price often did not reflect Amazon as a company and really the broader markets. And the reason I bring this up is because right now, crypto is in a very similar position. The cryptocurrency space, in my opinion, is not being represented accurately in terms of price in regards to actual value that it holds. Right now, markets are selling off, not due to anything really that's happening within the cryptocurrency space, but more with what's happening with geopolitical or global economic events. And it's often easy to take your eyes off what's being built behind the scenes. And this is where real value is going to come from. Short-term volatility is a part of any market, and more so a part of an emerging market. And if you can understand that there's value in something, even when the price doesn't reflect that, you're going to do very well as an investor. And it's why I'm still all in crypto. At the end of the day, this is an investment for me. And ultimately, you weigh an investment up over a period of time. You don't weigh it up over 6 months, 3 months, or an even shorter period. You weigh it up. Typically, your professional investors, your professional financial advisors will weigh things up over a 5-year period. Now, it's nice to do well in the short term, and crypto has done a lot of that. But ultimately, if you believe this technology is going to change the world, why would you be in as much fear as you currently are? And it's because of markets. It's not because of what's taking place within the crypto space. So we're going to lead with this clip, and then we're going to go into a few surrounding things. Cardano's at a real critical level right now. Many people are extremely fearful within this market. I kind of feel like I've already watched this movie in regards to the price. And ultimately, I've managed to survive through plenty of time periods like this. And I think there's going to be plenty more into the future. But one thing that is undeniable is the journey that crypto's on. And I think it has a very bright future. And certainly something like Cardano that's done things the right way, in my opinion, is going to do very well within that. So let's play this clip, guys, and then let's talk about it. And it's the reason I bring this up again is because there's a clear distinction between price and what's actually being built.
Your stock at one point, I think, went to $100, but then it went down to $6 or something like that.
At the peak of the internet bubble, our stock peaked somewhere around $113. Okay. And then after the internet bubble, busted open, our stock went down to $6. It went from 113 to 6 in less than a year. So my annual shareholder that year starts with a one-word sentence, and that one-word sentence is the word ouch.
So most of those internet companies of the dot-com era are out of business.
Yeah.
You survived. What was that made you to survive, and virtually the rest of them are gone?
That whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. And we didn't need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. The only reason, a financial bust like the internet bubble bursting makes it really hard to raise money. But, we already had the money we needed. So we just needed to continue to progress.
So the reason that I bring that up is because I think there is a huge correlation between what the likes of Amazon went through in regards to their price and what many of the cryptocurrencies that are out there right now are going through. Cardano specifically, in this case, as what Jeff mentioned there was the fact that the price was going one way to the downside, but all the on-chain or all the metrics that you use to weigh up a company were going the other. And there was just a huge value disconnect there between the actual price and just how well the company was doing. And that was because of markets. This is Amazon in the dot-com boom. You guys will remember we mentioned this quite a lot. This is, like I say, one of the first videos I ever did, and we were talking about Amazon and how Bitcoin was just following it. I still think we're on that trajectory today, guys. And you can see that you have these hugely volatile price swings. 95% down. Amazon didn't have 95% less users or had lost 95% of the market share. The price just sort of doesn't dictate or doesn't accurately depict what's going on with the company. And it wasn't just in the early days. I mean, if we take this, if we put this on auto, you really get a scope. You know, you can see all these big volatile movements. We have compared this a number of times. It's becoming more and more popular now. The fact that Bitcoin essentially is in a similar spot to where Amazon was in 2010. This was 2008, the financial crisis, which caused a lot of stimulus, threats of interest rate hikes, but then ultimately continued because there was still value and progress being made there. But if we take it off log, you know, you can see this is Amazon's journey. The short-term volatility really doesn't depict accurately what's going on for Amazon. At these sort of horrific drops doesn't mean that the company was anywhere near, you know, less profitable by that margin. It was just a stock price, and price often doesn't accurately depict what it's trying to. And often there's a lot of what's going on geopolitically, what's going on with the sort of macroeconomic landscape at play that affects price, and so it can't really shine through. And if we take Cardano as an example, we know what the on-chain metrics look like. We have data for it. The delegated wallets just continues to go up. We started this time last year, Cardano had 245,000 delegated wallets. Today, it's got 1.1 million. In terms of actual ADA wallets, people with Cardano, we started off at just under 500,000, and today we're at 3+ million. Every metric you can weigh Cardano up on, whether that be throughput, whatever it may be, security, so on and so forth, is doing exceptionally well. And the price just simply is not reflecting that. And for me, this is value that's yet to get realized. And Cardano, in my opinion, is an investment that I'm happy to make. And I'm looking at what's taking place over the longer term, over the sort of horizon. And I think Cardano has a very, very bright future. So I found that clip, you know, very similar situation with what took place with Amazon to where crypto is right now. You've got a lot of external forces that are really weighting the crypto space down, just like Bitcoin is that tide that rises and sinks all ships, ships being the altcoins. Financial markets are the ocean which crypto as a space, as an asset class, is upon. And if the ocean throws a temper tantrum, you know, the boat is going with it, not the other way around. So it is very doom and gloom in terms of markets today. Like I say, I feel like I've been here before. I'm not worried. Bitcoin's still at this kind of crucial level. We'll change it back to normal candles. You can see it was quite a slam down. It's going to be very interesting to see how markets open. The traditional financial world opens up tomorrow and Monday. Of course, we know that markets traditionally don't trade over the weekend. Crypto is different in that nature. It's why we often see this real volatility to the down or upside on weekends, is because there's very low liquidity. And right now, you've got a period of extreme fear. You've got a period of uncertainty. Your big players will not sit through that. They'll take the risk off the table and then look to re-enter in less risky times. That's what we're waiting for. So there's lots of risk weighing over the crypto space. Again, Ukraine, Russia. You've got the Federal Reserve with their interest rate hikes. You've got regulatory framework, and what is the clarity on that going to look like? We know that Biden has set an executive order to regulate, to task his different agencies with regulating cryptocurrency and building a framework around it. That could be to the up or downside in terms of whether it's good or bad. I ultimately believe it's going to be a net positive over a negative. Yes, there is going to be some casualties of war, but ultimately regulation sees further crypto adoption. Very interesting that Russia also came out, given what's taking place at the moment, and as previously said, they're going to embrace crypto, if you will. They're going to see it as a currency and sort of move more towards adopting it than sort of working against it. So we'll see if the US follows suit. The US and Bitcoin is really the main story you want to watch, because the US, of course, have a world reserve currency. Bitcoin in many ways challenges that. Certainly we know that if other countries decided to switch to Bitcoin and not the US dollar, they could sort of bypass all sanctions that the likes of the US look to put on individuals. And that's one of their real kind of weapons that they have, if you will, on an economic front. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm going to be holding on through this. I've been in crypto for 5 years and I plan on having many, many more in it. I understand that the price action sucks. It's up to you guys whether you hodl through or not. Ultimately, I'm going to be hodling because I believe in this investment. I believe in Cardano, and I believe in many of the cryptos out there. And I'm going to weather the storm. So that is really all I have for you in this video. Again, a huge shout out to the guys delegating with the all-in pool, which is the all-in crypto Cardano stake pool, 3.3 million. It's a huge honor. Thank you very much for staking with me. We are working on ways that we can involve and get involved with the likes of ISPOs and so on and so forth, so that we can really bring the best for delegators in terms of rewards. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, guys. Remember, markets are markets, and price is tethered to that and really gets thrown around within that. And often price doesn't really represent or accurately represent the asset that it's trying to depict. So that's all I have for you. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents.